Welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, your rebellious podcast about a strong body, calm mind, healing, and fully living. I'm your host, Maria Angelova, creator of the Angelova Method, an integrative approach to mind and body connection. The Angelova Method redefines your success equation to include a healthy body and a healthy mind. Hey Rebels, welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, your rebellious podcast with me, your host Maria, where it is all about a strong body, calm mind, heal. Keep going. Where it is all about a strong body, calm mind, healing, and fully living. We have a treat to you guys today, and you have to tune into this episode on video because I am totally being entertained and I'm feeling those high vibes from my guest today, Pearl Noire. Welcome, Pearl.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. Hello, everybody who's listening and watching.
Yes. So, Pearl, you are the Black Burlesque Queen, and you are the founder of Healing Through Seduction. Girlfriend, I cannot wait to talk.
Oh my goodness. Yes. The founder of Healing Through Seduction for all your seduction needs. Although it might not be what you think it is, just like burlesque is so multifaceted. And I'm very proud to be considered the modern day Josephine Baker. Pal, let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. You guys know this is a totally rebellious episode, right? Can you tell? Can you feel the vibes? All right. So first, Pearl, we got to get to know you. So 3 words that tell us who is Pearl and a little bit of a backstory behind each one.
Absolutely. 3 words to describe me. There are so many, but let's go with iconic. Let's go with healing. And let's just go with, actually, I'm going to go with transformative this go around because I am so iconic because I believe in myself. I'm iconic because so many people compare me to Josephine Baker. I am iconic because I prioritize healing, because I'm not afraid to transform. And that is how I live my life, especially as a burlesque performer. But what has really made me iconic is that I do not do burlesque. I am burlesque.
All right. That's called owning it. I like
Yes,
that. All
yes,
right.
yes,
All right.
yes.
All right, so where do we start? Where do we start being iconic? I love that. And I do have to tell you, I was talking to somebody else today, a client, and I was like, there is such a difference when you own what you do, when you own what you say, when you like exude it through your body, mind, and spirit, like it oozes through your skin, right? There is so much empowerment for that. And
Yes.
let's talk about, we are talking about burlesque, we're talking about
Mhm.
seduction, we're talking some words that might make some people like, what? And uncomfortable. So let's put the elephant right into the middle of the room and let's talk about that stuff. Let's talk about burlesque, healing, seduction. How are those tied
Mhm.
together?
Well, for me personally, burlesque was really healing for me because I grew up being told there was something wrong with me, quite frankly. I knew from a very young age how powerful I was, and I knew that the sensuality was connected to it. So much so that there was one memory I have of my mom, nailing my windows shut because she saw me sneaking into the house, naturally assumed that I was out with boys or at a party, but I was sneaking out to talk to the moon. Right. And once I discovered burlesque, I was able to take back that agency of my body and take back my narrative because burlesque is the only art form that gives you full autonomy over your body. So a lot of people, when they think of burlesque, it's like, oh, those are people stripping and people are showing their nipple pasties. And it isn't about that. It's about being open to yourself and showing your heart to yourself first. Then you can shift your relationships with other people. And when it comes to healing through the art of seduction, it has nothing to do with having other people be seduced by you. I'm asking you to heal by being seduced by yourself, by shifting your narrative, by redefining intimacy for yourself, by being uninhibited with yourself first, instead of seeking validation from outside forces, instead of having these emotional surrogates try to fill a void that our parents could not feel or society won't. That's what I have to say about burlesque and seduction.
so many keywords that you threw in there. So okay, first of all, one thing that comes to mind is you said, people perceive burlesque as such, people perceive seduction as such. I think that's so key, because how many things, and it's not just in the context of these, but so many words that we have perceptions of what it means. And sometimes we assign like, well, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, right? And we don't
Yes.
really understand what is the essence of it. And the other thing that comes to mind is, as you were speaking, I actually had a client who was a burlesque dancer.
Oh, nice.
Just based on she's a burlesque dancer, I will tell you, I made that assumption of who she is. And when I started to get to
Okay.
know her, she said, do you know why I started burlesque dancing? She's like, because I am so shy and such an introvert. Now, that is not something that you expect to hear from a burlesque dancer.
Yes, yes, yes.
You like where I went into my own conclusions of like
Mhm.
people for what you think people are, rather than
Yes,
really knowing them. And
yes.
for her, it's the same thing you're saying. For her, burlesque was her being her free self, expressing herself,
Mhm.
being comfortable in her body. She actually said she was doing it also because she was uncomfortable in her body. And I was like,
Yes.
whoa. Now that's
Yes,
right. That's
it's a beautiful way to come back home. All of us have been taught to fear our body, and all of us have been taught that seduction is something that's negative. It's something that's bad. It's something that can have you, losing your entire family and losing your career because you were seduced by this, terrible person. And it's like, no, no, no. Seduction and burlesque have a lot in common, because here are the things that I know about seduction. When you are seduced by someone, you feel safe. Most people, the first thing they say when they start to fall in love or in lust with someone is, I just feel like I can finally be myself, right? So this person is offering safety to you. This person is giving you a chance to crack your heart open. This person is giving you a sanctuary. And what I'm saying is, how amazing would it be if you offered that to yourself? And burlesque is a beautiful avenue to do it. One of the first burlesque acts I created that I became pretty well known for is this beautiful boudoir act. Now, to the blind eye in the audience, like, ooh, here is a Black woman. She's taking glamour back. Oh, like she's being glamorous and she's showing her body. For me, on a deep personal note, it was healing, because I said, some things happened to me, like a lot of people, in a bedroom that I had no control over. How amazing would it be to take back my own power and body and take back the narrative for myself, to seduce myself, to heal the part of me that believes I did something wrong, that I seduced someone and they couldn't control themselves. That's not what happened, right? So that is how you use the art of seduction to come back home to yourself, by shifting the narrative and providing that sacred sanctuary for self.
Yeah. And I'll tell you through my own personal experience, and something that especially I would say, especially women, um,
Mhm.
so many women are uncomfortable in their bodies, and they go for like, oh, this, and I'm like, listen, as we age,
Mhm.
things will change, right? That's part of
Yes,
aging, right?
yes,
So let's just
yes,
be on the same page. It happens to all of us, right? You're
yes.
right. And there is a lot we can do from a self-care perspective, and there are options
Yeah,
if that's
yeah,
your thing.
yeah.
But inevitably, our body changes. Now, I'll
Mhm.
tell you, many years ago, yeah, I was in my 20s and I was thinking, I remember I first read an article on cellulite and I was like, what is cellulite? And then
Mm.
I don't want to have cellulite. And a friend of mine made a very wise comment. She said, girlfriend, it's only going to get worse. So embrace it for what it is. And that is such a great perspective, right? Like,
Mhm.
and then the other thing is feeling comfortable and sexy and seductive into who you
Yes,
are, regardless of
yes.
what your size, regardless of what your shape, regardless
Mhm.
whether you have cellulite, stretch marks, whatever your thing is, wrinkles, whatever your thing is, owning it,
Mhm.
right? And just be
Yes.
with it. And I think you're so right that that comfort, it's like it comes from the inside. It's nothing that you can
Mhm.
fake from the outside. It comes from
Absolutely.
the inside. When you feel good on the inside, you're like, I own this, despite whatever your list is, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
And I will tell you, oh, I had another, oh, yes. A couple of years ago, I went to a retreat. And one of the coaches said, you should write a book on being comfortable in your own body, because he
Yes.
said that is such an elusive skill. And it
Hmm.
really made me pause and think, huh, like, where is that coming from? And you know where
Mm.
it's coming from? It's from the healing that I've done on the inside
Yes,
that is
absolutely.
projecting on the outside.
It
Um,
can't be denied. It
right?
can't be denied. Yeah, the healing work, it just really can't. It can't be denied. And it's a beautiful ongoing journey. And I think women who are listening, and even, men, I don't know about your listeners and non-binary people who may feel like there's a disconnect, may not feel comfortable in your body as it is aging, and you're thinking, how can I seduce myself? And the thing, how I taught myself was to offer myself the same care and grace, compassion that I offer a stranger walking down the street. And I and if we are people who are judgmental, part of the reason why we're beating up on ourselves is because we're thinking we're judgmental, so we're thinking everyone else is. And so then we can like release the judgment of ourselves so that we can offer just a bit more grace on the daily basis. And you're right, regardless of that waistline, the number on the scale, and I'm going to add relationship status as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Regardless of that, you
Age.
are worthy, the age, you're worthy of that compassion, and that's seduction. So the compassion, offering grace, that's how you can seduce yourself on a daily basis.
You made a very great observation, which I actually wrote a post a couple of days ago, and it was about love, choosing
Mhm.
love. And one of the points I put there, and I said, is loving yourself. Because
Mhm.
to the point that you made, we are taught to love others, God, whatever, community, friendship.
Yes.
But how
Yes.
often are you told, love yourself and respect
Mhm.
yourself and set up
Mhm.
boundaries which show that you respect yourself? And I'm sure you have heard the saying is talk to yourself like you talk to your best friend. Some of the things we say to ourselves, you never dare to tell to your best friend, right?
Never.
Be aware of that, the self-talk, what you tell to yourself, and showing yourself compassion and self-love. And when we are whole, we can project that wholeness to those around
Mhm.
us.
Yeah, and I think people have struggles with that, or they struggle with that because, it's like, well, I don't want to be a phony and I hate affirmations, like they don't work. And the thing is, you're seducing yourself with negative or positive thoughts all the time, right? And the reason why people are afraid of seduction is because we do know that sometimes you can be seduced by the wrong type of person who they pretend to be someone, and then next thing you know, you're in a situation you don't want to be in. But the truth is, we're always seducing ourselves, be it positive or negative. And so
Yeah.
that talking, what we want to remember is that we don't have to judge ourselves. In the event we don't have a positive thought, it doesn't mean that now we're a phony or we're some imposter. I like to tell myself and anyone I teach, just think of your journey with self-care and seduction the way you think about your journey with food. Now we know we have to eat every day. We know we have to drink water every day or we will perish. And we don't judge that we have to keep nurturing our body, but we judge that we have to keep nurturing our mind and our sensuality and spirituality. And the same way our body has toxins that we have to release every day, we don't judge that. We have accepted that that's a part of life. So we want to accept that our mind also has toxins every day. And the goal is to get in the habit of releasing the toxic thoughts and the toxic behavior with ourselves, and understand that at 5 o'clock you can think you're fabulous, at 5:05 you can hate a dimple, and then at 5:10 you can be back at your like, yes, I got this again. And it doesn't mean that you're an imposter.
Yeah. And you make two very valid points because, for example, when we do meditation, sometimes I tell people, like, what do you feel in your body? And I always say, do not judge it because, oh, I feel this. And now you start going down the rabbit hole of it's good, it's
Yes.
bad, and you
Yes.
getting judgmental with yourself. And how frequently are we not aware of that? And then the other key point you made, Pearl, is being authentic. And I think that's very important because we can also be influenced by, oh, do this, do that. Well, you know what? If it doesn't feel authentic and true to you, and you know what? I'm sure there are different seduction methods that work for every different person, right? If it doesn't feel authentic to you, then maybe there is a different way you can do it, right? But don't
Yes.
force yourself to do things which don't feel authentic to you just because you've heard it's a good thing. I think that's so key.
I agree because it's an intimate relationship with self. So, you want to learn how to honor your boundaries with yourself. You want to give yourself and your body self consent each day. And then that'll help you honor your boundaries with other people, right? The same way we are taught, hey, when you're in an intimate connection with someone romantically, speak up when things don't feel aligned, when you don't feel safe, depending on the relationship. Maybe there's a safe word in place, and we want to have a safe word with ourselves when we don't feel aligned, like you said. And it's okay. A lot of times in my class, I'm like, if this feels good to you, honor it. If you feel bored or disconnected, honor that too. You don't have to force yourself just because you're in the group setting. And so I love that point that you just brought
That
up.
is so important. Honor your body. That is something that I
Mhm.
preach. And, I preach it from the context of movement and working out.
Yes,
But it is
yes.
important because even with that, we don't honor our body. We just like go after
True,
the head. This is how what
true.
should be. This is what I should do. I should keep up with the.
Yes,
It's like, no, it's your
yes.
body. Honor it and meet it where it is for the day, for the moment. Because you know what? Today is going to be very different than tomorrow. But
Absolutely.
yeah. And I do have to share with you a very quick story because it's making me, I'm thinking about it as you're talking is a couple of years ago, I see, like I said, a lot of women dealing with self-image issues. And
Mhm.
I was like, what do we do that is going to push these women outside of the comfort zone and give them more comfort into their body? So you know what we did?
What?
Went and did pole dancing.
Oh, yes. Yes, I love it. Yes. Yes, absolutely 100%. Yes. How did it go? Did they love it?
Oh my gosh. So some people were like, okay. Some people were like, oh my gosh, Maria. And some people were like, a couple of people were like, I am only doing this because I trust you, but I feel very uncomfortable. Let me tell you. And we started, it was like awkward. Of course, they had to start with me. They're like, and I was like, oh gosh, the
Mhm.
pressure. Let me
Mhm.
tell you, by the time we left, they were like, when are we doing this? Actually, I need to schedule the next one. But it
Exactly.
was like they were like best friends, like they have known each other their entire life. They were like so high on the experience, they were owning it. They
Yes.
were like, flashing their hair and like, oh my gosh, it was empowering. It
I
was
love that.
empowering,
I
right?
love that. And I do not doubt it. I don't doubt it. I love that so much.
Such
Mhm.
fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, okay.
Yes.
Do you have a piece of advice or a favorite quote you would like to share with us, Pearl?
I'll give you my own personal one that I use all the time, and it is, my tears will become rainbows.
Mm, mm.
Mhm. I don't have to fear them. And so tears doesn't have to mean something's wrong. But the tears represents the willingness to be open with self, the willingness to create a new life, the willingness to create new thoughts, a new path, a new journey. And the tears represent the transition. And so for me, when I think of tears or rain, I automatically think of an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for enlightenment, an opportunity to be seduced because something new always happens after rain. And so when I think of my tears becoming rainbows, it's a promise that I'm not done. I'm not done, and there's so much more to come if only I am willing to be connected to myself and to the source.
It happens frequently when people, so I teach Pilates and people get down on the piece of equipment and we'll start doing like basic work and all of a sudden
Mhm.
tears start coming down.
Yes.
For a lot of people, they kind of freak out. They're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening. I feel okay,
Yeah.
not in pain. And they almost like want to shut it down, right?
Yes. Yes.
And it's like, it's okay. Your body is like taking a deep breath. And sometimes there is heaviness, sometimes whatever it is that you're experiencing.
Mhm.
And it's just like, oh, wow, I feel safe in a
Yes.
safe environment. And I can let go. And how powerful is that? And
Mm-hmm.
exactly to what you say, we go, oh, I shouldn't cry. Oh, I shouldn't do this. No, it's like
Mm-hmm.
the body wants to release that. Let it be.
Let yourself be seduced with yourself, because when you are crying or having an orgasm with other people, there is no shock, there isn't a shame. But we all have been taught wherever we grew up that our life depends on other people saying yes. Our lives depend on it. School, marriage, kids, the job of your dreams. Everybody's, even if you're an entrepreneur, somebody still has to say yes. They got to say yes to sign up for something or to purchase that product. So we are just constantly being told that someone else has to say it's okay. And so when they come to you or they come to me, people, and it's like, oh wow, I'm finally safe within myself. And it's just, people they're not ready to be seduced in such a way.
Yeah. And it's a powerful experience. And then when you see how the
Yeah.
journey goes, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful experience.
Uh, it's wonderful. I feel very lucky that that's what I get to do every day, is watch people experience themselves. It's gorgeous. I'm very grateful.
Information. Yeah. All right. What is your definition of rebellious, Pearl?
Oh, my definition of being rebellious is being honest with self. Honestly, I just grew up really, people kept trying to tell me, my loved ones, everywhere I went, someone told me I was wrong. I had the wrong hair. I had the wrong skin color. I put my hand on my hips too much. I danced around too much. I believed in myself too much. And so for me, my rebellious act, especially as a Black woman, is to trust my identity.
Mm, Just who you are.
Yes. As
Yeah.
simple as that might sound, but for some of us, that is the most rebellious thing that we can do, is to show up as ourselves, to be
Yeah.
a beautiful imperfection. That's being rebellious.
That's what I say. Be perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pearl, where can people follow you, reach out to you, social media, website?
Yeah, so my website is blackburlesquequeen.com. Yes, another iconic move, just to make sure I am solidified in history. If you
Yeah.
ever search that, I am going to show up regardless, okay? But I would definitely tell people to reach out to me on the gram. My social media page is the Pearl Noire, Perle. That is where you can kind of get a glimpse of my world. You'll see all of my demos and previews, and I go live all the time. I also have a free ebook that I love to give people just so they can have an introduction to what healing through seduction means to me and what burlesque means to me, which is an invitation to take your power back.
All right. Woo! You guys,
Woo!
Pearl, check out her work. And if you're ready to seduce yourself, I do have to check out your downloadable, Pearl. I am definitely
Please,
intrigued.
please, 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 please. Yes, yes,
You,
yes, yes.
you are such a treat, Pearl. Thank you so much for vibing
Mm.
high and owning it and being here with us and being rebellious. I do have to say, I do hope you guys totally savor this conversation. And any questions, let us know. Don't forget, stay true to yourself and be rebellious. See you next time.
Mhm.
Did you enjoy the conversation? Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Want to redefine your success equation to include a healthy body and a healthy mind? Check out our website at rebellious-studio.com.